What is going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a great day today. Um, let's talk Superman. We got to talk Superman today. It's going to be basically the whole live stream is based around Superman, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Um, let's see. Where do we even begin with this? First of all, has anyone here seen Superman yet? That's the big thing. Um, let's see. I have a few things on the list for the docket. Yeah, so basically what we're gonna go over today is I'll be talking about my thoughts on Superman. I'm gonna be breaking down what's coming next in the DCU and actually what I want to see in the DCU and what this universe has to do to actually stand out. So, once again, if you have any thoughts, drop them in the comments. I'll get to those as well. And if you want to see my actual breakdown of the Superman movie, I have my full review on the channel, so go ahead and check that out. Let's see. All right, let's get this thing started. So as far as the Superman movie goes, I dug it. I really dug it. And it's the one takeaway that I have with it is the fact that I liked it so much is such a big deal to me because my expectations for this were through the roof, right? I've been following this movie since it was announced, since the DCU became a thing. James Gunn took over. I was so interested in what they were going to do because I mean, they were struggling. They were struggling for a decade of, hits and misses and just it was all over the place and there wasn't really a concrete idea of where this universe was going. So I wanted to see what was going to happen and I'm so happy that we got Superman. Fantastic. I am working right now. It should be out tomorrow of a video on my top 10 characters from the movie because there are a lot of characters in Superman. A lot of them worked, and a lot of them that I didn't think was going to work worked really well, especially with the side characters. Like the very like you'll see their character poster and you're like, who is that? Like I've never seen that person before at all. That worked really well. Let's see. Okay. Some things I actually didn't like about the movie were it's kind of like a double-edged sword, but it moved really fast. It moved really fast, and while that worked for a lot of people, and it worked for me at some point, but because it moved so fast, it didn't give a lot of the characters enough time to actually, show what they were about and give us enough of their backstory. We don't need like a full backstory, and I talk about that in my review. We just needed, a little bit more, and a lot of the side characters do get that, but because it's so fast and it is on the shorter end, it's like just under 2 hours. A lot of the other side characters don't get enough, time to show us what they actually can do and what they're all about. But at the same time, if you think about it, that's going to allow us to be more interested in the characters. And then whenever they show up, regardless in Superman 2 or whatever other project, we're going to be right there waiting to see more of them. Good morning, Eclipse. How are you doing today? I'm just ranting about Superman because I saw it and I loved it and can't get enough of it. So that's kind of what I'm building this live stream about is Superman. We're going to talk all things Superman. We're going to keep it spoiler free as much as possible because it is only Saturday morning and the movie just came out. So I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But if you have seen it, let's talk, spoiler free. Nice. Just woke up. I've been up for a couple hours now, but let's see. I'm doing pretty good. I've woke up and started working on another video for the channel, and now I'm doing a live stream, and I have work later, but it's been a very easy going morning and had my coffee already, had breakfast. I'm feeling pretty good. Eclipse, have you seen Superman? Or if you, oh, thank you. Thank you for subbing. Really appreciate that. Have you seen Superman yet? Or, have you seen any movies this week that you want to talk about? Thank you for liking and subbing. Every little bit helps. Absolutely. Let's see here. So yeah, Superman is the one movie that I saw this week as far as going to the theaters, but I also watched a movie called Under the Shadow, which is on Netflix. And I do a lot of horror stuff on this channel as well. We do it all, but horror and Under the Shadow was recommended to me by another person on the channel, and that was a banger. So if you like horror, check out Under the Shadow on Netflix. Okay, Superman and Spider-Man. Which Spider-Man specifically are you talking about? And yeah, I can't say enough good things about Superman. I've seen a lot of like different. I've seen a lot of people bashing on it, saying it does move too fast, and that's what I was just talking about. Is it does move a little fast, like it for real, it does. But that's a good thing because it's very focused. So there's not like a lot of downtime. There's not a lot of fluff. I feel like every scene really does play into the actual plot of the movie. So that's a lot of these movies do get a lot of fluff, and it kind of goes on a little bit too long. But that's another pro to the movie is that it moves very fast. No Way Home. So if you haven't seen No Way Home, I won't really go into too many spoilers with that. But one issue I had with that is that it felt um No Way Home felt like just a lot of fan service. And that's the same thing I felt like with Deadpool and Wolverine. They're both a lot of fun. So I'm not knocking it on that. And I think that was the goal of those movies. But once you like step back and you're removed from those movies for a while, you kind of start to see like what was really behind all of that, and there really wasn't too much there. I'm not trying to sound like a hater, because I do enjoy those movies and they are a lot of fun. But that's kind of my big critique on those ones. Um, you're talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, right? Yeah, so Five Nights at Freddy's, I haven't played the games. I'm not a fan of those. I don't have anything against them, just wasn't my thing. I've seen them and it's I watch some YouTubers play it. I haven't watched that in like years, but I have seen YouTubers play it and it's a lot of fun to watch them play and just get scared, it's always a good time. And then I saw the movie. I saw the movie whenever it came out a year or two ago and didn't really do it for me. I don't think I'm like the target audience for that. However, I saw the trailer or like the teaser trailer for part two, or is the second Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm gonna go see it. I think it looks cool. Like there is potential with it, even if it's not scary. Like if I don't find it scary, like there might be a cool story behind that, and like just a really cool different concept to it. So, and I do like the animatronic type of thing. Like I just saw Megan. I like the first Megan, Chucky, Child's Play, one of my favorites. So I do like the inanimate object type of horror serial killer, whatever it might be. I do like that. So I'll go check out the next one for sure. Godzilla. What's the American Oh, are you Movement God? You're talking about like the Godzilla versus Kong. You're talking about like the 2014 Godzilla. Um yeah, I mean, no complaints there. I do think that the MonsterVerse though for Godzilla has gone from like a very carefully crafted like singular movie type of deal to this Fast and Furious type of crazy type of movie with lots of flashing colors and a lot of like spectacle. So I think it's gone away from like the focus stories, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I really don't know. I think it's just people are gonna like it or they're not gonna like it. The last one, the New Empire, not a big fan of it. Love the action, but I don't really feel the need to go back and watch it. And I just feel like the universe as a whole has gotten a little bit worse as it's gone on. Having said that, I'm gonna go see what's the new one called? Like Supernova. I'm gonna go see Godzilla versus Kong Supernova, of course, or Godzilla and Kong Supernova. My name in PFP is from. Oh, okay. Is the Five Nights at Freddy's security breach? Is that the newest one? Is that the one that came to like PlayStation 5? I remember seeing a trailer for it on like some PlayStation showcase, and I thought it looked cool. Once again, those games look cool. Like Five Nights at Freddy's does look cool. I don't really play games as much anymore. I wish I did. I do want to play them. I'm just super super busy, so it is what it is. Let's see. Moving, are you asking if like to just talk about Jurassic World and like how I feel about the Jurassic World series? Because I got some things to say about Jurassic World. Um, man, Jurassic World. When the first okay, cool. So when the first Jurassic World came out, super skeptical. I should say skeptical when I saw the trailer. I always talk about how it hooked me, and then we saw the final scene of Chris Pratt on the bike, with the Raptors, and I'm like, and him like taming the raptors, and I didn't think it worked well in the trailer. I rolled my eyes and I was like, oh boy, this is gonna be bad. And then in the context of the movie, I actually really dug that aspect of it. They overutilize it later on in the series with Dominion and Fallen Kingdom, but in the first movie, it made sense. I liked it. I liked to love, the Jurassic World, the first one. After that, I feel like the Jurassic World just went downhill. I don't have a lot of good things to say about the new one, the Rebirth. I wanted to love it. I really, really liked the idea of it. I liked the story of it. But when everything, like in the opening shot, all I'm gonna say is the Snickers bar, the Snickers wrapper. I knew I was in for a rough ride, and I was. The action in that movie is really good, and the dinosaurs I think look great. I just think it was a really big missed opportunity. The issue with Jurassic World and as far as like that franchise goes is like what do we expect Universal to do? Right? It made so much money its opening weekend. There is still an audience, even as bad as the last two. Like universally, like even if you like the last two, and if you do, that's awesome. Like go like as many movies as you can. If even with all the bad word of mouth from Dominion and Fallen Kingdom, and Jurassic World goes off, Rebirth goes off to make as much money as it did the opening weekend. It's crazy. It's like this franchise is like bulletproof. Like no matter what they do, people will go and see it, which is awesome. But what do they do from here? Do they follow the same characters? Do they give us a nice long break like we got from Jurassic Park 3 to World? I would prefer the break, right? We just got 10 years, like over 10 years, we got like 4 movies worth of Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. So I'd like to see a little bit of a break, but what it do, anti-hero? The ones I like is Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World. Yeah, I mean, Jurassic Park 3 gets so much hate. Like, it's very underrated. I actually did, if you go to my channel, I did a ranking of all the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World movies. And I had Jurassic Park 3 relatively high on there, and I have that's what I say in the video is that it's so like accessible, right? It's a movie that you can just jump in. It has a nice enough story. It's just there's not too much to it, but it's like a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and the other ones get really wrapped up in like the corporate stuff and like the what's going on in the shadows, and none of the stories are really that deep, if we're being honest. But I just feel like Jurassic Park 3 in particular is one of the most accessible and fun movies and non-serious movies they can just throw on in the background, and you're gonna have a good time watching it. uh yeah, and it has a lot of horror parts, especially with the I'm gonna botch this, but the Spinosaurus, right? The Spinosaurus that's like hunting them the whole time. Loved that aspect. And then like the pterodactyl scene, being chased by them, so cool. Yeah, actually, Jurassic Park 3 is really good. Yeah, a lot of hate there, but it is what it is. It's actually my wife's favorite, and that was one that she like had. I feel like when we were younger, we all have those movies that we had, whether it's like on VHS or DVD or whatever it was. But like we had just a few of these movies that we had on repeat, and like that like was like our movies growing up, right? So that was like one of hers. So she loves that one, and yeah, after rewatching it recently, yeah, it holds up better than I thought it would. Let's see. Let's see. I'm a little late here. Have we talked about or not Superman? I started off talking about Superman, and we'll get back into that. We kind of went off on a tangent on like Jurassic Park and all this other stuff, but we're here to talk about whatever. So throw it in the chat, and I'm gonna do my best to get to everybody's descriptions. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about Superman. That's what this whole thing was gonna be focused on. Once again, we can talk about whatever, but the Jurassic Park looks like trash. The book is way better. The new one looks like trash. Yeah, so I need to read the book. It was funny. I was talking to my wife. I'm starting to read a lot more. Just a little personal thing. I'm trying to read a lot more. I just ordered the Dune books, so I'm gonna get on that. And my wife was like, "Why aren't you reading Jurassic Park? Like, I'm surprised you have not read that yet." And that's that thing of like, okay, I'm gonna get to that. I'm trying to space things out between like sci-fi, fantasy, and like really deep and dense books. Like I read the Silmarillion from Lord of the Rings, crazy hard. So now I'm reading The Hobbit, and I'm gonna go into either Dune or I got like Dracula and Frankenstein, like the original books. So I might go into that. But I need to read Jurassic Park. Definitely want to read that because I hear it's different, right? It's different from the movie and what we got in the movie, which I think the movie is a masterpiece, like from top to bottom. I think it's a masterpiece, but I wonder how the book like differs. So I've seen all the Jurassic Park films and Jurassic World films 20 times. Like it's a very entertaining like series. Even the bad ones. Like at least there's dinosaurs going on. Um, I'm starting to kind of put Jurassic Park and the Fast and Furious franchise like kind of not in the same boat. I'm not gonna do that to Jurassic Park. I love it too much, but it's kind of teetering on that. Okay, JJ, I'm gonna check out the book. I don't know when, but that's definitely gonna be on my list because that is one that I've been wanting to read and just gotta get to it. Thanks for saying what you thought about Godzilla and Jurassic Park. Yeah, of course, of course. I like Godzilla, and I'm looking forward to that. I love King Kong and Jurassic. Like those are just such good franchises. Just like throw it on, get some fast food, and just have a good night. What are your thoughts on F1? I saw that they made a whole actual style of racing. Okay, Inside Hero, have you seen F1? Slipknot fan, what is up, dude? I gotta talk to you here in a little bit. Gotta talk to you here in a little bit about Under the Shadow, because I finally watched it. Okay, so F1. Yeah, Inside Hero, let me know if you've seen F1. F1 was fantastic. I went with my dad for Father's Day, and man, that movie rips. It was so good. Like, that's a movie that is long. Like, it is very long. It's like 2.5 hours, roughly, a little bit longer than I thought it was gonna be, and I was worried that it was gonna be a little bit drawn out. But man, F1 was sick. Like when they first put you into the actual cockpit with Brad Pitt and he's racing and just how it was filmed, like you feel like you're in the car with him. But it is unreal. I didn't get to see it in like IMAX or anything fancy like that. It was just a normal theater. But that even just that did it for me. The sound, the score, like F1. I think on my Letterboxd, I have it. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull up my Letterboxd real quick. I think I have it number 8 overall. Here I'm gonna pull it up real quick. Bear with me, y'all, because now I'm curious. Go to mine. Does anyone else have a Letterboxd? I started using this a lot more and really starting to like it. Okay, where is mine? Profile. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I have it at 8. So I really dug F1. Let me know what you all thought about F1. It's from the guy who made, or it's number 9. I'm sorry, it's number 9. It's from the guy who made Top Gun Maverick. So if you like Top Gun Maverick, I highly recommend checking out F1. Let's see. Before we go any further, Slipknot fan, just real quick. Yeah, Under the Shadow. Really cool. I actually dug the aspect that it was like I just like the daughter or the mother-daughter dynamic. Like that's what drew me into the movie. And that's the one thing that really entertained me for the majority of it. Having the gin on top of it was just like the icing on the cake because of like the horror aspect. And I got like 1 or 2 jump scares. It got 1 or 2 jump scares out of me. Really cool though. But yeah, thank you for the recommendation. I really enjoyed that one. Okay, Lancelot, what's going on? What were your thoughts on Lex? Also, what are you expecting from Batman, and what other heroes are you excited for? Lex Luthor. So I'm working on a video right now. It'll be out tomorrow of the top 10 characters from Superman. So keep a lookout for that. Lex is on the list. That's all I'm gonna tell you. But Lex was incredible. Like going back, growing up, I always thought Lex Luthor and even Superman was kind of boring, and I didn't really understand why Lex Luthor, this human, is like the biggest threat to Superman. And then as I went on, like as I got older and I looked up all the stuff, I'm like, oh wait, no, Lex Luthor is a badass. I like Lex Luthor. And we got the Jesse Eisenberg one in not Man of Steel, Batman v Superman. I'm like, that was awful. But this Lex Luthor embodies everything that I thought that character was gonna be. Love Lex, like huge standout in the movie. There are a few standouts in that movie, but he, like, if anyone has seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen the movie, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. Let's see. Oh man, F1 in 4DX, that would be incredible. Like when I was watching it, that's what I was thinking because we just got a 4DX near me, and I'm trying to figure out what to go see. I know it's not like you can go see any movie in theater in there. I know it's like really limited to whatever's out, and it's kind of like IMAX. But F1, if y'all have a chance to go see F1 in 4, I can only imagine how it looks in 4DX or how it feels in 4DX. Like that's gonna be insane. Okay, yeah. So I don't watch F1. I'm interested in F1. I just haven't really like dived into that sport. So I'm glad that as an F1 fan, um, that they got it. They got it right because that's something that I couldn't like tell you that they got it right, but it sounds like they did. So that's really cool. Characters are great in Under the Shadow, and you end up really caring for them. You really do, and it's yeah, it's just a really good movie. Like I like the what they deal with because it's not just a straight up horror movie. Like there is other types of horror in Under the Shadow, like just the idea of war and how they're worried about every day, like glass shattering through their window or their building being torn down by bombs and stuff. Like there was another layer of fear in that I thought was really really interesting. Um. Oh yeah, so there's a breakdown of that. I'd love to dissect that. I always wonder with movies like that, they're kind of like more character based or like psychological stuff, where it's a little bit deeper than just like a serial killer or like jump scares. What I missed was there something deeper to that? So I might check that out. Am I excited for Nobody 2? I saw the trailer while watching F1 and was hyped. I am very excited for Nobody 2. I didn't see Nobody until I think it was on a plane ride. I think it was on a plane ride where I threw it on for the first time. Because I just didn't buy like Bob Odenkirk as this John Wick style kind of guy, but it's definitely not as serious as John Wick. So I feel like it works. And I felt like it was believable and it's a fun movie. So when I saw Nobody 2, when I saw the trailer, absolutely sold. That one looks sick. Let's see. Actress from Under the Shadow is Narsha Rashidi. She's in the new Tom Hardy movie called Havoc. Oh, is she really? I never saw Havoc. I heard mixed things on that. I have a hard time of like picking out what's on Netflix. Like what's a good movie to throw on Netflix. Netflix is so hit and miss, you know. How was Havoc if you've watched it? And then Lancelot, going back to your question about Lex, we're gonna get into the like kind of the future of the DCU. So we're gonna get there. Let's see. Actually, no, screw it. Let's just do it right now. Why not? What I want to see in the other heroes, like the other heroes that I'm excited for in the DCU, I want to say like all of them, right? I think I'm more excited in learning about characters that I don't know about. That's what I want to see. And that's kind of what they did in Superman. That's why Mr. Terrific really stood out to me, you know, and the fact that there is a Green Lantern that I never knew about prior to this movie. And, you know, I know a little bit about Green Lantern. I'm not like deep into the lore of all that, but like that's what I want to know. And that's my favorite thing about Superman. There's one thing that I could took away from Superman, there was a lot of good in that. The one thing that I loved about Superman is the world building. And I think that that is something that needs to be carried on, and that needs to be something basically at the forefront of all these other movies that are coming out. Like hint at other people, other beings on this planet, and show us why this universe is so lived in and different. And yeah, so I want to know more about characters that I don't know about. Like that's what I really want to know about. Um, my thing is, and I kind of want to ask all of you: do you think that they need to prioritize like right now, like in the next 2 to 3 years, we need to get this movie out, like Wonder Woman and Batman? We have Superman. Do we need the Trinity immediately to like set the core of this world, or do you think that there's room? Superman came out. Let's get a little bit weird and different with like Clayface that they have coming out, and give us these obscure characters, and then maybe throw in Batman, and then throw in a little bit more, and then Wonder Woman. How do you want to see that play out? Slipknot fan, that's a good point. Okay, yeah, I'll check those out because I really dug it, and it's so fast. The Under the Shadow ends so fast. It's just it starts and then it's over, and I really think there's more to it. And you're right, the cultural difference where we're over here and they're over there dealing with all of that's going on over there for like ever. It's a very different like state of mind. So that movie can be dissected a ton, I bet. Anti-hero, I couldn't see Lex without seeing Nux from Fury Road, but here, oh yeah, but hearing that he did a great job has me hyped to go watch it. Okay, so you haven't seen Superman yet, yeah. Um, I've seen a lot of Nicholas Hoult stuff, right? He was in last year's Nosferatu. He was in Mad Max. He was in a lot of stuff. This is easily my favorite performance from him, hands down. Like, so if you don't know the backstory, he auditioned. Well, he auditioned for Batman that Robert Pattinson got, and then he auditioned for Superman in this movie that David Cornswet got. And then he ended up getting Lex Luthor. And it's funny because I was watching the movie, and you can just see the hate in his eyes, and I always wondered, is he like really using like maybe he was jealous of David getting the role? I don't know, but he is the biggest hater I've ever seen in any movie, and it really shows. And I can't wait for you to see it. What a lovely day. Yep. Oh yeah, and, Renfield. I liked him in Renfield. I like that movie. That was a very underrated movie. Was it a good movie? No. One of those movies that you can throw on and just have a good time with, though. That's a good one. Okay, let's see. I think with the state that Marvel is currently in when it comes to movies, at least give DC some wiggle room. And I don't think they need to pump out movies quick. They need to produce quality. So yeah, two things with that. I'm right there with you. I would not be mad if we got one movie a year from DC. I know it's going to take a long time. That's not what's going to happen at all. But I would not be mad at that. Like, give us quality over quantity, and that's one thing that James Gunn has been preaching since the beginning, since he got the job, is that nothing goes into motion until the script is as best as it could possibly be, and it's up to the quality of probably him and then probably a few other people. So it's going through all these checklists of being where it needs to be. So hopefully, whatever amount we get, it's all quality. If it's all quality across the board, DC, the sky is the limit for what this can do. I saw that I think their goal was 2 live action, which I'm not a fan of this, 2 live action movies, 2 shows, and 1 animated show, or something like that, give or take like 1 other project. But I saw that and I was like, that's a little much. Like, I don't know if I want that much content, because at the end of the day, it does become homework. And even if these projects, you don't need to see the other ones to understand what's happening in the project you're about to watch, which I love. That's how it always should be. It does feel like homework at the end of the day, where you have to keep up with all of this stuff. And if you're a big Marvel person and you're a big DC person, God help you, because you're going to be busy all year, every year. So I would be fine with 1 to 2 projects a year, just because it gives us room to breathe. It makes every project feel special, all that stuff. Surprisingly, I thought Nick Cage played one of the most evil versions of Dracula, and it's supposed to be a comedy. He was just, it was so different. He was just mean. He was just a mean Dracula in Renfield. You just feel bad for Renfield, like, the entire time. Like, he just wants to escape, and what a weird movie. Like, straight up, what a weird movie. I haven't seen that movie since it came out. I went to go see it in the theater, and I had a lot of laughs with it. I just haven't checked it out again, but I remember thinking, like, feeling bad. Yeah. Speaking of, like, Dracula and vampire movies are kind of on the rise, right? Like, we had Renfield, we had Abigail, which you haven't seen Abigail, highly recommend Abigail. And then Nosferatu. And then are we getting anything else this year? I can't think of anything, even though it's probably right in front of my face. But it just seems like that type of horror is coming back, which is really cool. If you really break down those projects, Renfield was a comedy. Abigail was like a horror well, yeah, more horror comedy than Renfield, but like there was like not straight up comedy in that, but it was a funny movie. And then you go into Nosferatu, which is just straight up gothic horror. So I want to see more of that. Like, bring back just be creative with them. Give us comedies, give us action, give us all that stuff with the classic horror monsters. Good time. Let's see. Love the first 10 minutes of Renfield. Yeah, I don't remember the beginning. I can't lie to you. Like I said, I saw it when it came out like 2 or 3 years ago. But I overall really enjoyed Renfield. Yeah, Think Free. Yeah, so Think Free movies shouldn't feel like homework. And I hope that they stick with that for the DCU of whatever movie you go see, whether that's Supergirl. You don't need to have seen Superman or Creature Commandos or anything to go see that. Like that is so important. And this isn't a spoiler for anyone that hasn't seen Superman, but they open the movie very Star Wars-esque. They fill you in with what's going on, and then you learn as you go throughout the movie. And I love that. It keeps you kind of more engaged of like, okay, who is that person? I've not seen that person before. And then you really pay attention to what they do, what their dynamic is with everybody else. And they spoon feed you the stuff that you need to know. And I think that's great. And I think that really engages the viewer. Yeah. Let me see. I have a list of stuff I wanted to talk to you real quick about. So yeah, overall, Superman, fantastic. I don't know if it sets the exact right tone for the DCU as a whole. And I don't think there is a tone that it's gonna actually be in the DCU, because what it sounds like is every movie is gonna be based on whatever the director wants to do. It's gonna be their vision as far as the tone and everything that's going on. Like Superman is gonna be incredibly different based off of what we've heard. Incredibly different than Clayface. Clayface is gonna be very body horror, probably very dark and sad, very polar opposites. But the fact, if they can find a way to weave all of these serious topics with these lighthearted moments, all this stuff across every project feel like it's part of the same world, that's gonna be something brand new to the genre. So hopefully that works. But yeah, I don't want homework. I want to enjoy what I'm watching and not feel like because like my thing with the homework thing with the MCU, I dipped out a long time ago. When I say dipped out, I mean that I didn't follow every single project. I missed Miss Marvel, She-Hulk. I watched Moon Knight. I haven't seen Daredevil. Punishers, as an example, Punishers and Daredevil, right? The new one, I hear it's really good, so I do need to check that out. Well, no, Punisher is about to be in Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man movie. So do I need to watch that? Do I need to know what's going on? Do I need... Yeah, it just gets a little bit much. What do I think of Commando, the Schwarzenegger movie? I have not seen it. I hate that I have to say that, but I have to be real with you all. I have not seen Commando, and I haven't seen a lot of Arnold movies. I've seen the big ones. But I have not seen Commando. I actually want to go back. Now that we're on the subject of Arnold, I need to go back and watch The Running Man, because the new trailer for the new movie looks incredible. And I have not seen the original with Arnold, and I do want to see how it changes, what the actual original vision was. Was that a book? Was The Running Man a book? It might have been a book. I don't know. But I need to see Commando. Speaking of Star Wars type intro, are you ready for the next 3 Star Wars movies? Real quick, Hentai Hero, just context. I love giving you all context of like who I am, just so you understand to take my, like what I say to heart or not, whatever. Star Wars. Really enjoy Star Wars. Nowhere near like a diehard fan. I find them all very entertaining. I have the first 6 movies with the Steelbook. Love those, the prequels, the original. Hated the new trilogy. I really, really liked the new, what's the first one? What's the first one of the new trilogy? I really liked that one. But then ever since then, The Last Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker. Rise of Skywalker had to build off of The Last Jedi, and there was nothing there for me. I really didn't enjoy them. Having said that, Rogue One was one of the best sci-fi movies I've ever seen in my life. It's my favorite Star Wars movie. So whatever they're doing, so I guess what I like as far as Star Wars go and what I want to see is to branch away from the Jedi, because we've gotten that for 40 plus years, right? Like just give us other stories in this universe where it's just normal people. That's kind of what Rogue One was. And that's kind of what Solo was. And I enjoyed Solo. Didn't love it, but I enjoyed it. So that's what I want to see. So I know that the Ryan Gosling movie with Mia Goth in it, like, let's go. Like I'm all in. Like, I don't know what it's about. I think is it a Starfighter one? Once again, I don't follow it that much, but just off of those 2 people in that movie, I'm there. And then you have like Mandalorian. Mandalorian was good. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go see them because I do like them, but I'm very cautious with how I will go about it. Let's see. Colt, what's going on? Winter Soldier, my favorite MCU movie. Like, My favorite MCU movies is like that. We have the first Avengers and Infinity War. I think Infinity War might be the best Avengers movie. Um, but Winter Soldier is special. Like, I will always remember going to see that movie coming off of the high of the first Avengers, really at the peak, well, on the rise of the MCU, right? Really established itself after the phase one. Going into Winter Soldier, I looked good, it looked cool, and we all knew it was Bucky as the Winter Soldier, and it just looked really cool. And I went to go see it, and I was sitting there halfway, just like thinking to myself, is this real? Is this movie this good and this different than everything that came before it? Winter Soldier is certified banger, like top tier. Like, if someone said that's their favorite MCU movie, no questions asked. I like that. I like Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. Winter Soldier is top tier. I have it. I have it in my collection. Do you think the Punisher has been portrayed definitively by an actor, for example, in the same way? Um, for me, no. For me, no. Uh, I don't know who it would be. Like, clearly, John Bernthal is the definitive one right now, but for me, I don't know if that's the definitive one. And it's no hate against him. Once again, I've actually only seen him in Daredevil 2, season 2 on Netflix. So I don't have a lot to go off of. I missed him in this last season. I didn't even watch his series on Netflix. But if anyone's gonna do it justice, it's probably him. Let me know what you think about that. But based off of what we've gotten so far, it's easily him. And no one else is going to replace him going forward for a very, very long time. If they have to, wait, K-Star, what's going on? If they have to the Jedi movie, I would like to see The Force Unleashed adapted into a movie. Glad you said that. Never played the game. I know what it's about, and the concept is so cool. Like, that's such a good way to bring back fan favorite characters like Darth Vader. Like, so cool. Such a different type of movie. And you follow this new person. Going off of the games, why don't they do Knights of the Old Republic? I've been, ever since Disney bought Lucasfilm, I'm like, that's what they need to do. And there's been no talk about it. It's right there. It's right there. How has that not been a thing? Like, let's see how everything was way before where we have been living in for the past 40 years. That's what I want to see. So kind of going off of the game idea, like, they have content that is proven that people love. Because I think Force Unleashed got a second game, right? So you do that, you please everyone, just do it right, and I don't think a lot of people would complain about that. I know I wouldn't. I like all the Punisher actors, but I think Ray Stevenson is the most accurate. So I've not seen his version of it. But he does, like, Ray Stevenson, RIP, like, he like had a really good presence about him when he was in really anything, right? Like, what have I seen him in? I haven't seen a lot of his stuff, but like, but the little bit that I have, let's see. So yeah, Punisher, he was in Ahsoka. I think that was his last role. What have I seen him in? I just sound like an idiot. Oh, he was in Thor. He was one of the people in Asgard. He was in G.I. Joe. He was in the other guys. Okay. Yeah, so like as you can see, I have not seen him in a lot of things, but I remember really, that's what it was. It was Thor. I really liked him in Thor. Let's see. Hollywood likes to milk money out of nostalgia. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But I think there's a right way to do it. I think there's a really right way to do it. And I think you have to get rid of the nostalgia to build on the nostalgia, if that makes sense. Let's go back to Jurassic World. Dominion, they wanted the nostalgia of the original legacy characters. They brought them into that, and they had no plan for them. They had nothing, they couldn't do anything with them. And it really shows in that movie where there's a stupid subplot for all of them, and it just amounts to nothing. There's no payoff, there's no payoff to it. So I think that you can use nostalgia as far as the brand, but you have to be able to let go from that and build something new. That's just how I feel. And easier said than done. That's why I don't get paid to write these movies. So yeah, looking forward to seeing Bernthal in the Spider-Man movie. So do you think, once again, I feel like the internet blew up when that was announced. But Bernthal being in the Spider-Man movie, what's that gonna look like? Like Punisher is one of the most brutal characters in the MCU, right? But he's gonna be in a PG-13 movie. That's like the equivalent whenever I go to a horror movie, at not when you get older and you don't have to worry about getting in being 18 to get into these R-rated movies. I just go see whatever horror movie is out, right? And I sit there and I'm watching it, and sometimes I look at my buddy, because me and my buddy go all the time, and I look at him, I'm like, what's this rated? If it's really bad, right? Or if it just feels like it's really holding back what it could be. And I'm worried that that's what it's going to be, because there's not a chance. There is a literal 0% chance that Spider-Man, new Spider-Man, is going to be rated R to accommodate for what the Punisher is going to do. Zero chance. So I'm worried that by it being PG-13, we're not going to get like a definitive, not definitive, that's not the right word, but like a really good version portrayal of the Punisher that we've been getting in the MCU. So that's my big worry about it. Let's see, B. Goddamn, basically Mass Effect, but Star Wars theme. Yes, Knights of the Old Republic. I played so much of that. Exactly. So, see, like, just give us that. And not only that, it doesn't even have to be its own movie. Like, it can be a trilogy. It could be. I wonder if it'd be better as a series. No, screw that. They've given us so many Star Wars series where it feels like the Star Wars brand is exclusive to Disney Plus, and I don't want that anymore. These movies need to be okay. Star Wars, MCU, DC, all Jurassic Park, all of these big franchises that have been around for generations. Like, these need to be events. These movies need to feel like events again. I feel like that's what Superman was, at least for me. That's what it felt like. And if they go back and just space these movies out and they give us a Knights of the Old Republic Star Wars movie and turn that into like basically what Star Wars is going to be on the big screen for the foreseeable future, next 10, 15 years, oh my gosh. I will be there every second. Every movie, space them out 3-4 years, just make them feel special again. And yeah, Five Nights at Freddy being PG-13, that's an exact example of when I learned to look at him, I was like, this is PG-13, isn't it? So yeah, and I know the new one is PG-13, right? So I'm not expecting much from the new one, but I want to see it. I'll go check it out. I think they'll make the Punisher act like he did in the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, give him gadgets and stuff. Ooh, okay. KDP, hello. Thank you for saying hi. More gadgets than guns. That's probably the way to go about it. Yeah, that's probably it. And like a lot of hand-to-hand combat. So, but what's going to stop him from using his guns and all of the weaponry that he has in Spider-Man? It's got to be Spider-Man, right? Like pulling a Batman on him and saying no killing or anything like that. Yeah, it's probably just going to be that. It's going to have to be some big reason. But how do you persuade the Punisher from not doing what he is all about? Like, that's another thing. Also, did you all hear that the Hulk might be in this? Like the actual Hulk, not Smart Hulk, none of that crap that they've been giving us for the last decade. But Scary Hulk. I don't know about you, but I'm missing Scary Hulk. Real quick, I'm gonna pass it off to you all. I want to kind of go back to the Superman thing real quick. What upcoming project are you most excited about? So we have Peacemaker season 2 coming out next month. Then we have Supergirl next year. And then we have Lanterns next year, which is going to be a show. And then we have Clayface coming out next fall, which is a movie. Let me know what you think. I'm personally, I don't know. I'm really excited for all these, but I guess I really want to continue what's going on with Superman and kind of see what's going on in that world. So I'm going to go Supergirl. I'm going to have to go Supergirl. But I could switch that out at any time, at any point for any of the other projects because I'm so excited. Are we talking human help? What's going on? Are we talking about modern mythology in this chat? I mean, we're just talking about whatever. Throw in what you think, and then if I can't answer it, hopefully someone else here can, or at least has an opinion on that. So that's kind of what want to see here. I still need to watch Peacemaker season 1. Jones the Lad, what's going on? So, love it. That might be, even though as much praise as I'm giving Superman, like Peacemaker is fantastic. Peacemaker in my head is like a 10 out of 10. Like, the humor, like it's funny. It's a very funny adult show. Like it does not shy away from that. If you like the Suicide Squad, you're gonna like this. And I liked the Suicide Squad. I didn't love the Suicide Squad. I love Peacemaker and what they did over there. So season 2 is gonna be sick. I'm gonna be working on. If you're new to the channel, I do a lot of recaps on movies, shows, when I can. Especially I got work and all that stuff. But I am planning to rewatch Peacemaker and do a quick recap for you. So if you've seen it, cool. Here's a quick little rundown of what to know going into this one, into season 2. But if you haven't seen it and you don't want to sit through 6-7 hours of it, I'll have a recap going on probably about a week or two before it comes out. So keep a lookout for that. To watch at very level. KDP. I don't know what that means. To watch at very level. I don't know, but you did the clapping, so thank you. That's all I gotta say to that. B, Lanterns would be good, but I'm worried it might be mirrored to Peacemaker. Everything I'm hearing, and I'm sure you've heard of it as well, the big thing about Lanterns is that it's going to be very much inspired by True Detective. So if you've seen True Detective, that's what they're kind of going for. Very dark and gritty story. Now, how that will translate, I can say all these things and they can tell us all these things, but if it comes out and doesn't really hit like that, it kind of messes up our expectation. But apparently, it's gonna be very different than Peacemaker, because Peacemaker is very not happy, that's not the right word, but goofy, right? So it's gonna have a very big different tone. Let's see, what's that? KDP, Superman. God, I love Superman. I love that movie. I hope all of you that have seen it loved it, and I hope whoever goes to see it this weekend love it as well. It's actually looking like Superman is on pace for about 115 million opening. And it had the biggest, I don't know if you know this, it had the biggest Thursday night preview in Warner Brothers history. Like it just barely beat out Barbie, which at like 22.5, something like that. It made a lot of money and it's doing better than they were expecting. So that's a very good sign. Yeah, Superman. Let's see. So what I want to see in the DC universe kind of going forward, just take risks. Like that's my biggest thing is take risks, get weird, show us what you got. Show us the weird stuff. I actually want to see, really want to see Justice League Dark. Like at whatever point that may come into play. I know they announced the Swamp Thing movie back when they announced like the slate going forward. I need Constantine. I need Zatanna. I need his name's Deadman. Deadman. I need those type of characters and build off into this. When they announced the DCU, I was like, oh, this is a great idea. I know that they're doing the Elseworlds thing where they have the mainline DCU and then they're doing like the Batman Part 2 is going to be an Elseworld thing. It's falling under the DC Studios, but it's going to be its own separate project. And they're going to make sure that we know that. I kept thinking, man, why not add another umbrella under the DC Studios and just make the DC dark, like the Justice League dark. Like give us that. That's what I want to see. And then the other thing, how do you all feel about this one? Is I want them to eventually get to the Justice League, of course, right? But take their time. But I also want to know, because they can get creative with it. Once again, I don't get paid for this, so I want to see what other people can do with this. The writers and James Gunn and everybody. I want them to get to the Justice League in a very unconventional way. Obviously, they have to put out projects leading up to it. Very MCU-esque. And the reason I say that is because they were like the first to do that. But what can they do to get us from here, from the beginning, to the Justice League? I think they're kind of setting that up with the Justice Gang and Maxwell Lord kind of like paying them, and they're like superheroes for hire, basically. And I think it's a long way away. I think the Justice League is a very long way away. I'm talking 6-7 years, but I think it's gonna be worth it, depending on how they get us there. And then obviously, keep it creator driven. As long as the script's in place, I don't see how it can go wrong. Give them like a year. Based off of these first 2 movies, and I think Clayface, because Clayface starts shooting next month. It's like next month or September or something like that. It's gonna have roughly a year before it comes out. And that's how Superman was, that's how Supergirl is gonna be, and that's how Clayface is gonna be. Give us a year for the visuals to come out. Clayface doesn't even, I guarantee Clayface isn't gonna need anywhere near as much time in post-production But still, having as much time as possible to get the effects right when the person is literally turning into a thing of clay, like that needs to be believable. And so I hope that that's what keeps up as well. That super shit part was hilarious. I love that. Like how he just stops like being angry and he's like, "Hold on." Yeah, if you haven't seen the movie, you'll understand it when you see it. So for those of you that have seen Superman, who is your favorite character? I'm not gonna tell you mine because my list comes out tomorrow on the channel, but I'd love to see who your favorite character was. There was a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Slipknot fan. I just had a quick look at the Spider-Man cartoon to refresh my memory. When Spidey meets Frank and sees his attire, he says, "The skull. You must be Bonehead, right?" Yeah. Do you think he has to be? Because now we are getting Tom Holland as the Spider-Man that we want, right? I was so tired of this character having to go back to the sins or whatever Tony Stark did to get us the plot device of what this Spider-Man movie is. Now he is like fully Peter Parker. So I want to see him be even more of a smartass, even to someone that looks like Punisher. That's what I want to see. Let's see. Oh, real quick, for next week, is anyone going to go see Eddington or I Know What You Did Last Summer? I'm gonna go see I Know What You Did Last Summer. First, I'll probably go see Eddington afterwards. Is there anyone that's excited for that movie? Like, A24 movies, I feel like get hype by like cinephiles, right? Like people that know what it is, who know who Ari Aster is. That's who that's for. I'm very cautious after watching Beau is Afraid because it's Ari Aster. I love Midsummer, love that movie. Beau is Afraid got weird. It got weird and it was long and it was bloated and it had me for half and then it just threw it away at the end. So I'm very curious on Eddington. But that's why I'm going to take the safe route and go see I Know What You Did Last Summer. So let me know if you're going to see it. Yeah, like that's exactly who Spider-Man is. Like the quips that he has and just his personality has to shine in this. Like he really does. Sadie Sink was cast in this, right? So who do you think she's gonna play? Obviously, she's a redhead, so it's like, oh, Mary Jane, but Mary Jane already exists. So what are they doing with this? I really hope it's not like a multiverse thing. I really hope. I'm done with that. Yeah, Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2. And even like, I don't know, superheroes, comic book characters, all that stuff, like their personalities are so cool. And just how different they are. It just feels very like authentic. Like when in Age of Ultron at the beginning, when when Tony Stark says a bad word, I forgot what it was, and then Steve Rogers is like language, and everyone's laughing at him. Like just I don't know. I like and in Superman you see the personalities of all of them come out. Like almost all the different characters that get enough time to actually show you. You see their different personalities. I love that. Yeah, I guess that's really about it for Superman. I don't want to give too much away because it just came out. I'm actually going to go see Superman again Tuesday, I believe. Tuesday morning. I love that movie. Love it. It's not perfect, but it's good. Very good. Yeah, is there anything else y'all want to talk about today? That's kind of all I had. It's kind of vague, but have you seen a film called The History of Violence? Okay, so no, I have not. But that's a DC property, isn't it? History of Violence with Viggo Mortensen. David Cronenberg is a hit or miss for me. There's not that big of a sample size though. So I saw Presence earlier this year, loved it. I need to watch Black Bag. That was him, right? Didn't he do Black? I'm thinking of someone else. I'm thinking about someone else completely different. Never mind. But no, I haven't seen that. But I heard about it, and I actually remember when did this come out? 2005. Yeah, I remember back in 2005, back when like Pirates of the Caribbean was coming out, and there's movies like that. And I remember seeing the trailer for this and not really vibing with it. I guess like all I saw was Aragorn from Lord of the Rings, because that was around the same exact time. But I hear it's great. Like, let's check this out. I'm gonna check it out real quick. History of Violence, 88% on Rotten Tomatoes, 3.7 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Like, I should check this out. I need to check this one out. I'll check that one out next. Why not? A graphic novel. Okay, I'm not gonna look into it, but that's gonna be you keep giving me like homework, not homework, but like things to watch, and I love it. I love it. This one really does interest me though, so I'll check this one out. I think it's probably on Max. Do you think Fantastic Four can hold up to the Super Duper Man? No, and I'm not. I feel like every time I talk about Superman, I'm like, oh, he can do no wrong, and just being super biased. But like everything regarding Fantastic Four has not done for me what Superman has done. I went to go see Superman, and I look at my buddy, I'm like, I hope that I don't see the trailer for Fantastic Four again, because the trailer is shown everywhere, and it's pissing me off. And because it just, like, it's okay. I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's never been done great. Say what you will about the early 2000s movies, and they were fine, but they weren't great. And I just don't think these characters are that interesting. Can it be better than Superman? Of course it can. Of course it can. But based on the trailers and what I've seen, and just, it's not there for me. Now, it's probably going to be better than I'm expecting, because my excitement for it is low. Even coming off of Thunderbolts, which surprised me so much, and I loved it, and I was like, the MCU is back. Like, I am so hyped for what they're going to do next. Now that that has come down, a month or two after seeing Thunderbolts, and I'm just sitting there, Fantastic Four is on the horizon. I just don't see it doing it for me. I'm sure a lot of people are going to like it more than Superman, but for me, I don't see it. I really don't. No Country for Old Men is fantastic. No Country for Old Men, I saw it when it came out in theaters, and I was a lot younger back then. I didn't really appreciate it for what it was. I was interested enough, but it does have a lot of low-paced moments to just sit with, and I need to rewatch it. But when I first saw it, I thought it was really good. I watched it again a couple years later, whatever it was. Loved it. That's a fantastic movie. KDP, hello? Johnny Dome. Superman was great. Yes, it was. I'm glad people are liking it. I think the biggest complaint that I see, and I've talked about already on the live stream, is that it moves fast. Like Superman does move very fast, and it might not be everyone's what they want to see, but for me, it's good and bad. Like, it's a very focused movie. You just get to the point and you go with it. B, I'm thinking Superman's on my mind. B, I'm thinking Thunderbolts will be the best MCU movie for the year. I agree with you. But I'd love to see Fantastic Four be a strong film like Superman. Yeah, like, the bar for me, I feel like I'm a broken record with this stuff, because I keep saying this on every live stream, and it's just how I feel. The MCU, the bar for the MCU for me is low. Like, it just is. Thunderbolts leapt over that thing like you wouldn't believe for me. Loved Thunderbolts, and I just don't see how Fantastic Four is gonna beat that. But if it's anywhere in the realm of Superman, I'm gonna be shocked, I'm gonna be happy, and I'm gonna let all of you know exactly how I feel about that. And I will critique it just like I critique Superman. I'm not trying to be as non-biased here as possible. Yeah, my theater was not clapping. They weren't clapping. There was surprisingly not that much clapping in my theater for Superman, but everyone was laughing, everyone was smiling. I look across every little bit, but everyone was like just having a great time. And I think that's gonna do so well for the word of mouth for this movie. So I'm not a fan. If you like No Country for Old Men, then you'll probably like Awesome. Is History of Violence like more fast paced? Like I said, I guess that was the only knock that I had on No Country, from what I remember, is that it just moved a little bit slower than maybe I wanted back then. I don't know. But I'll have to check that out. And Viggo Mortensen's the man. I watched now that you mention it, from David Cronenberg, I threw on. Hold on, let me find it. It was a newer movie. Oh, Crimes of the Future. Slipknot fan, have you seen Crimes of the Future, or anyone? Have you seen that movie? I threw it on, and maybe I just wasn't in the right headspace with this, it's a weird movie, like from the jump. And I really wanted to continue it, but then I ended up turning it off. Is that a movie that I should go back to and stick with? It's got Viggo Mortensen in it, and it is so weird. I didn't know what to think about it. Um, Supergirl was great, and Guy is a good start for the Lantern show. Johnny, I heard from Nathan Fillion in an interview or whatever it was, he was saying how in Lanterns, in the show Lanterns, just to give you all kind of what you can expect from Lanterns, in Lanterns, he dropped the F-bomb in that show more than he has in his entire career, all put together in that show. So that kind of gives you what this show might actually give you. Very much along the lines of like the adult side, kind of like Peacemaker, but not the same tone as far as the funny parts go. But Guy Gardner, I loved him. I wish we got more of him. I'm glad we're getting more of him really soon. Not seen Crimes of the Future, but a friend told me it was pretty good. Yeah, I've heard that too, and that's why I threw it on. So I'll have to go back and check that out. But probably the biggest thing about Cronenberg, the biggest issue, or not issue, biggest thing that I have not seen from him is The Fly. And that's definitely on my list. I actually went to go see The Substance last year. Whenever that came out, I saw The Substance, loved it, wanted me some more body horror. I went to go watch The Fly, and then it wasn't on, like it was on Peacock, and then it wasn't on Peacock. So whenever I get a chance to watch The Fly again, I'm jumping all over that thing. Because that's like, there's been body horror before that, but that's, I feel like, the thing that launched that genre of horror into the forefront and really made it kind of something that people wanted to watch. Let me see if anything else popped up on like the news or anything before we head out. Oh, what do you all think of the new Naked Gun? Is that something y'all are gonna go see? I think it looks really funny. I was very concerned, and I still am. I'm still very concerned about if Liam Neeson can pull off the comedic approach to this thing. I just don't think he has like maybe the charisma for it. Having said that, though, I don't know. It might work because the trailer did have me laughing. Real quick, y'all. Do we have any Harry Potter fans here? Let me know if there's any Harry Potter fans, because I think... Oh, yeah. So there's set photos now of... Because they're filming the show, right? They're filming the new show for Max, the rebooted show. What is this? Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to give y'all something. Can we skip forward? I might not have anything. It was just someone reacting because they see... Oh, never mind. Sorry, y'all. It was not bait, but it was someone that's on the set of the new Harry Potter show, and she's behind Privet Drive, that they built Privet Drive, and she's behind it, freaking out, but all you see is like a slab of wood. So, I don't know. The after credit was not important, but glad I watched them. Yeah, so, dude. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. How cool is it that they used what would have been an end credit scene in Superman and they put it in the movie? It was the last, 5 minutes of the movie, but that was post-credit scene stuff. And they didn't wait for you to watch it. If you want to stay for the post-credit scene, like he was saying, stay. If you enjoyed the movie, there's a little bit more there for you. Not relevant at all going forward or anything like that, but the first post-credit scene isn't, I like to put it as like a nice little bow on the story, what you were building up with the characters. It's an image. It's basically just an image, but I loved that. And then the end was just a nice little funny thing that if you like the movie, you'll like it. If you don't, you can leave. But I love that. No more post-credit scenes that you have to wait for. Like, just put it in the movie. I love that. Let's see. Seventh Seal. I've not seen Seventh Seal. Let me look that up. Seventh Seal. 1957, right? Where are we at? I lost my spot. 19. Oh yeah, 58, 57. What is this? Swedish knight Antonius Block returns home from the Crusades to find his country in the grips of the Black Death. He challenges death. Ooh, he challenges death to a chess match for his life. Tormented by the belief that God does not exist, Block sets off on a journey. That's cool. No, I've never heard of that. Never. That's a cool concept though. Especially like honestly, whenever you challenge like religion or people's beliefs or anything like that, like that's very watchable. I don't even know. I don't even know where I'm kind of going with this, but it's just interesting. Like that's how I felt about Heretic. I've talked about Heretic on here. Um, just gives you stuff to think about. So pretty cool. I've not seen that though. Sir Dog's comedy, nice. Hell yeah. How much, Johnny? How much did the stock go up after Superman? Because I used to do that. I used to check those out for the movie studios or even game studios when I was really into like video games and stuff. They'd launch like Zelda or whatever, and I look at Nintendo or I can't think of the game, but something on Blizzard, and I look at Blizzard and see how their stocks did. It's always interesting. And then Disney, freaking Disney's like movies are huge for them, but I felt like Disney stocks didn't like go up or down too much if a movie that they put out really did good. But good for Warner Brothers. It's hard because Warner Brothers is a studio. It's a company that like I don't care if they do good or bad, but at the same time, they have a lot of properties that I care about and I want them to do good. So, yeah. How cool was it when you go see Superman? There's no Warner Brothers logo. It's just DC Studios. I love that. Like, I didn't think it was gonna be a big deal, but then you think about it, like Marvel does the same thing. There's no Disney logo. It's Marvel Studios on there. So it's just cool to see. It's just cool to see that he has like creative control over everything, and it's his ship, which is really sweet to see. Um, let's see. Anyone excited for Halloween? I know it's a long ways off, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Oh, is anyone gonna go see Together with Allison Brie and Dave Franco? And Dave Franco, if you haven't, kind of going back to our body horror topic, the trailer looks insane. And they show you some stuff, but they don't show you nearly everything that I know is going to be in that movie. If you love body horror, or you just want a kind of a gross, scary movie to go check out, don't watch the trailer for Together. Just go and see it. I think it comes out July 30th. Just as a heads up. Just as a heads up. $9 to 11. Ooh, that's a pretty big jump for Warner Brothers stock. I know it was that low to begin with, but that's a pretty big jump. Yeah, and then and they also just rebranded this week Max back to HBO Max. I wonder if that has anything to do with anything. No idea. Don't know how that all works, but maybe. The Seven Seals is regarded as one of the greatest movies of all time. Yeah, I've never heard of it, but damn. I don't know what it's on. And just, yeah, based on the images, it looks very like, I mean, it's in black and white, but it looks very ominous. So I'll have to check that out. There's a lot I gotta check out. It looks like it would have a very, like, not depressing, but like, I can't think of the word. Like dread. Like you have like a sense of dread the whole time. Like that's what, based on the images, that's what it looks like it would have. If Warner Brothers falls, they will sell off separately, and that is a bad thing. Yeah. It's weird because David Zaslav came in from Discovery, bought Warner Brothers, and trying to get it back to where it was. And just hearing the amount of money that they were losing, it's baffling. Like how a studio can still like thrive after being down that bad. It's crazy. I don't want, because you have to think that if Warner Brothers falls, or Warner Brothers, has to sell off all of their properties, Disney's gonna be right there. Like straight up, Disney's gonna be right there to buy all of these things. And I don't want that. I don't want Universal to do that. Like we need the diverse studios doing their own thing and not under the same umbrella and challenging each other, creating competition. God, Disney owns everything. Disney owns it all. Here, Sony wants to buy Warner Brothers, but don't want them to get it. I don't think anyone wants Sony to touch Warner Brothers. I don't. I hated like all of their Spider-Man stuff except for Into and Across the Spider-Verse. Those are like one of the best, if not the best, comic book movies ever made. Straight up. But their live action Sonyverse villain thing, awful. Garbage. I don't like Venom. I hated what they did with Venom. I'll talk for an hour about how much I hated what they did with Venom. Yeah. No for Sony. Absolutely not. I wonder what it would take for Marvel to buy back the characters. I know that they've already had discussions about that, and that's why we are getting Spider-Man in the MCU, and there's actually conditions to him being in the MCU. I was watching 3C. I don't know if any of you follow 3C on YouTube, but he was talking about how there is like, if you think back on all the solo Spider-Man movies, there are MCU characters in them, on all of them. And I think that's part of the contract of they have to include these characters. So, I don't know. I think it's too profitable because Sony still makes money on all the Spider-Man movies and all the merch and everything like that. It's like a partnership with Disney and Marvel. So I don't see a world where Disney can buy them from them and maybe give us a cool Venom and all this. I don't know. It's not gonna happen. Any more Morbius movies? I don't think you have to worry about any more Morbius movies or anything from Sony. I heard they canceled like everything after Venom: The Last Dance, which thank God. I almost walked out. And I don't do that. I give them the benefit. I wait till the very end to make my decision. That was unbearable. The last Venom. That's top tier most hated movies. That's almost up there with Thor: Love and Thunder. Thor: Love and Thunder is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I can't say one good thing about it. Slipknot fan, yeah, 3C. 3C is the man. I love that guy. I love watching his stuff. He does really good stuff. Johnny Dome. Only company that did good with Hulk was CBS with the show. Oh, with Lou Ferrigno? I've not seen that. I will admit I've not seen that. But it's cool that they took what they had and like took like the practical way about it. I like that. I actually really like The Incredible Hulk, the one with Edward Norton. That is set in the MCU and everything. I like that one a lot. That was probably my favorite iteration of Hulk. I watch Pizzawa and Planet CHS. So okay, I've never heard of them. Let me look them up. Because as much as I talk about horror on here, I don't follow like a lot of horror people on YouTube. More so on like TikTok and stuff, but Pizzawa. Let me look this up. We'll kind of start wrapping it up here shortly. It's going to be maybe like 15 more minutes or so. But for everyone that's watching, what are you looking forward to for the rest of the year? It could be like the rest of the summer. It could be whatever. Like the things that come to my mind are Weapons. Weapons looks good. Wicked. Love me some Wicked. And Avatar. Avatar looks cool too. I feel like I'm missing a big one though. Okay, so Pizzawa. Oh yeah, so he's still making stuff. Whenever you go to a YouTube channel, sometimes it shows you stuff that they did like 2 or 3 years ago. So I was like, is this guy still doing stuff? I'm gonna subscribe to Pizzawa and check him out. Got a lot of subs. Maybe for me one day. Maybe. Yeah, horror is awesome. I love horror. Okay. Universal did good. Hot take, the Hulk movie was good for non-Edward one. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, what do we want to see in the Hulk movie? We want to see Hulk break stuff and just beat people senseless, and that movie did it. It gave us this sense of like he was trying to control it. I just feel like that movie, everyone puts that the Incredible Hulk at like the bottom of the MCU, and for me, it's not. It's definitely more mid tier for me. Needs more love. It really does. Well, Lou Ferrigno is in the Incredible Hulk, isn't he? From the Bill Bixby Hulk series. He's like, isn't he security guard? Am I thinking about the one with Eric Bana? He's in one of them, isn't he? I could have sworn he was. I have no idea what's coming out, so I guess I'm looking forward most to the Punisher Spider-Man movie. Yeah, that's next summer, right? Next summer is gonna be crazy. Next year is just unbelievable with movies. We have Supergirl, we have Doomsday, we have Spider-Man, we have yeah, man, I sound like an idiot. I know there's more. I know there's a lot more coming. Oh, The Odyssey, the new one from Christopher Nolan. Oh, and then my favorite, as of right now, my most anticipated one, and I'll make a full list for you at the end of this year. Don't worry, to go into next year. It's got to be Dune Messiah. I cannot wait for that. Like I said, I just at the beginning of the stream, I ordered the Dune books. I have one, Messiah, and then Children of Dune. I really want to get through that and read it before the movie comes out. I think it's gonna be good. I love what they're doing over there with the Dune series. He's in both. I'm saying Bana one was ahead of its time. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it was. I It kind of takes me out of it sometimes at the Eric Bana one with the comic book like transitions, but at least they were trying something new. And that movie is another one that gets kind of hated on more than it should. It's slow, but I thought it was cool. I felt like it was a good payoff when he becomes Hulk and he's running through San Francisco. I thought that was cool. Lou was the security guard in the first Hulk, but he provided his voice for Hulk in the Norton version. Oh, okay. Sweet. Sweet. I like those little like fun cameos in movies and just like little Easter eggs for those that know the history or just little fun stuff like that. I'm looking forward to. Apparently, in the new Superman movie, there's a board, and I didn't catch it in the movie. Everything's moving so fast, but apparently there's a board. I'm assuming in the Daily Planet, or maybe probably more with Lex, where there's tons of Easter eggs about different metahumans in the universe. So James Gunn said after the movie's been out for a while, they'll officially release it so you can kind of go through it and kind of check out what's been happening in the world. So I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah. So I asked you earlier, is anyone going to go see I Know What You Did Last Summer? And I don't think anyone's going to go see that, which I don't blame you. It doesn't. I have a recap for that one coming out too. If you're going to go see it, I'm kind of recapping the first two movies because the third one has nothing to do with this. But as far as slashers go in the 90s, I watched that one a lot because it was on TV a lot or whatever it was. But I just don't think that one holds up as far as being as interesting as any of the other slashers that came from the 90s. Yeah. Okay. Maybe watch it. I like the original. Yeah. It's nothing great, but it is entertaining. It is entertaining. I think that's basically all I have. Is there anything else y'all want to talk about before I head on out? Got work later. And then for anyone that's new here, I do these live streams every Saturday morning, same time, 11 a.m. Eastern. Definitely come in next time, and we'll talk about more stuff that we all like. Yeah, I don't know about Fantastic Four. I'm trying not to go in with that MCU like biased of me just not believing in them anymore, but I kind of have to. So it's kind of starting on a low, but it can only go up from there. Am I right? Forgot the name, but the slasher that starts off with a school bus. Does anyone know what that one is? The slasher that starts with a school bus. When you said school, I was thinking of the movie The Faculty, which isn't really a slasher. It's like a sci-fi alien invasion thing. That one was cool. But I don't know which one that is. Stanley was also one of the security guards with Ferrigno in the first Hulk film. I do remember that. Stanley had so many good cameos. My favorite one, off the top of my head, the one that like sticks with me the most is in The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, when him and Lizard are battling in the library and Stanley has his headphones on, can't hear a thing, it's all going on behind him. Thought that was hilarious. And God, I miss that. That was a lot of fun to see that in all those movies. I miss him. The only bus one I think of is Jeepers Creepers. Okay. Yeah, so okay, so that was it. B, I think you're right. For Johnny, definitely Jeepers Creepers. Yeah. Did you hear about what that creator of the series of Jeepers Creepers, like, do you know about him? When you read, if you go and you read, which I guess I don't recommend it if you like those movies, when you go and read what this dude is and what he's done, like, it tarnishes the entire series of Jeepers Creepers, which they're not that great to begin with. Like, I like the first two. I watched the third one, and that was not good. And I think there's a fourth one. But anyway, if you don't know what he did, and you're curious, go look it up. It's pretty, yeah, I just feel like it taints the whole series. But I think that's the movie. Stanley's cameos were a highlight. They were. I don't know if there's like a room for anyone else to do that though. In the MCU or DC, like I don't think there's anyone that can do it. I think they should do that. It was fun while it lasted, and we'll always have that. I don't think they should go back and do anything remotely like that. I separate art from the artist. That's good. I mean, honestly, you should. I love Alfred Hitchcock, and was he really? I had no idea he was a bad person. There is probably a lot of directors and writers and actors and actresses that are bad people. You have to think that we just kind of gloss over. And I had no idea that Hitchcock was a bad person because he had some bangers. So yeah, but then the problem with Kevin Feige doing the cameos or even James Gunn is people are going to be pointing and being like, oh, he runs the thing, and now he's like putting himself in the spotlight. Like, for us, we know who that is, and it's fun, and it would be fun for a little bit, but then I just feel like there would be a lot of pushback on that. Like I put out, I forgot what it was. I put out a lot of Superman stuff this week. It was polls, videos, all that stuff, and I think it was the polls with crypto, and someone was upset that it didn't look like Crypto from the comics, like the bigger dog, the fine haired dog, and now it's a shorter, like shaggy dog. And I told him, oh, it's because it's modeled after James Gunn's dog that he adopted that gave him the inspiration to put Crypto in the movie. And the person was upset because it's like self-insertion into the movie. So I think there's a line that really bugs people when it comes to that. I had no issue with Crypto looking like James Gunn's dog. I think it was cool. I think it was a nice little nod to the inspiration of why he's in the movie, or like why the idea that he got to put him in the movie. Megan, thank you so much. Jesus knows you and loves you too. He was bad, but the reasons were because he took his job way too serious. Oh, okay. Yeah. We've heard of people like that. We've heard of people not being good on set. So I'll have to look into that because I had no idea that was a thing. Give Me Liberty, just give it time. It'll be on Max. As far as spoilers go, or anything that may be spoiled for you, it's nothing earth-shattering. It's nothing earth-shattering. So if something ever does, but before you can go and see it, it's not gonna make or break the movie for you. Like it's a really cool movie from start to finish. So, and he shows the dog that is Crypto in the comics that looks like his dog. It was Crypto by name, but only named after the real Crypto. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. People find whatever they can to complain about, to like really get angry about. So, I don't know. Oh, From Dusk Till Dawn, absolutely. I love From Dusk Till Dawn. For all of you in the chat right now, and I'm not trying to sound like a hater because I really love this movie, and if you watch my review, I talk so highly about this. But from Sinners, a lot of people like on threads and stuff were talking about how this is the greatest movie ever made. and so unique, and it is. It's very, very good, and one of my favorite movies of the year. But isn't it just Dusk Till Dawn with like a different setting and obviously tweaking stuff? But isn't it very similar from Dusk Till Dawn? Yeah. So Sinners is on Max or HBO Max now, so you can check it out there if you haven't seen it yet. But yeah, I think it's very similar to From Dusk Till Dawn. I haven't seen the sequels from Dusk Till Dawn though. Are they worth checking out? That was such a wild movie, and I hope that people get to see From Dusk Till Dawn without knowing what it's about, because that's a cool twist, just like Sinners. Just like Sinners, I love that it's not like right from the jump you know what's gonna happen, or you know like what the bad things are. It builds onto it. I mean, yeah, for those of you that haven't seen Sinners, highly recommend it. It's an absolute banger for like this year. Definitely check it out. I'm watching Jaws franchise currently. I've only seen the first Jaws also. And from what I hear, that's the only Jaws you need to see. I don't know, but I guess there's a reason. That's interesting. Look back on our topic earlier of Jurassic World, of how so many have come out and they really keep trying to get this thing right or whatever it is. Jaws came out and it was a classic just like Jurassic Park. And then every sequel kind of failed, but it's been so long since we've gotten another Jaws. Do you think a Jaws movie would work nowadays? And if it did, who would make it? Who would make it to be a good movie? Nothing is ever gonna beat the first one, you would assume. So make it maybe in that realm of being good. I'm big into creature features, especially alligators and sharks. As a Florida boy, it tickles me. Have you seen Crawl? That's the one with the hurricane, with the alligators, right? Crawl is awesome. That's a great movie that looked a little iffy to me, if I'm being honest, with the trailers, and I watched it and I was blown away by that. I thought it was so good. Let's see. Yeah, so Crawl. Are there any other creature features coming out? It feels like there's not many. Like big budget is what I'm saying. I feel like there's not a lot of big budget creature features. But like if you go to like Tubi or something and find like a lot more independent movies or just movies that kind of flew under the radar, that's probably where you're gonna find all these things. Oh, Cocaine Bear? Wait. And the one done by the Cocaine Bear directors. The Bayou. I don't know what the Bayou is. The Bayou. Oh, so the Bayou just came out recently. It says it came out in February. Who's in it? I don't recognize anyone, but okay, so this movie might freak me out a little bit. I might have to check this thing out because there's something about swamps and like swamp water and like just not knowing, like all the alligators look like logs and stuff. It's creepy. Like the water freaks me out. The older I get, you don't know what's underneath. You know, the ocean, swamps. It doesn't even matter. Like that stuff's freaky. Open Water. That's another movie I need to check out. I remember seeing the trailer for that when I was younger and thinking like, what's the point? Like, why do I need to watch this? It's just them floating in the water. Going off of what I just said, that movie's, I'll have to check that out. Razorback 84 is a really underrated creature feature. What's Razorback, y'all? I'm gonna be doing, once again, the Halloween season's coming up. It's still a ways off, so I'm still kind of coming up with ideas. But I'm gonna go hard this year, y'all. I'm gonna go, Razorback looks wild, whatever that thing is. Okay, so I'm gonna go pretty hard into the Halloween side of things. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. Probably I'm gonna do rankings and reviews and all that stuff that you typically would do, but like I wanna do something different. So I'm still coming up with ideas for that. So keep a lookout for that. You saw Open Water in the cinema? Jesus. Oh, you grew up in the Everglades. That's sick. Any any like close run-ins with any alligators while you were out there? Jesus. I went on an alligator tour on my bachelor party. We went to New Orleans and we went on a you know, like a swamp tour basically, and the alligators were coming up to the boat. I was like, this is not safe. And then like the instructor, the guy who was showing us everything, he was like playing with them like they were puppies. It was so odd. Um, yeah, Halloween. I'm gonna go hard this year. Have you seen Peter Benchley's Creature? I've not. Dude, Slipknot fan, just assume that everything you ask me, even though I'm a movie channel I have not seen, but I love the recommendations. So keep them coming. Um, let's see, Johnny Dome, Peacemaker season 2 is next month. Yeah. Um, I might. Okay, so my next thing, I'm just gonna let y'all know because you're tuning in with me on the live stream. The recaps that I have coming out. Next up is I Know What You Did Last Summer. That comes out next week. And then later on this month, before it comes out, I have Twisted Metal, season 1. So, because it get people hyped for the season 2. And then after that is probably going to be Peacemaker. So I need to start rewatching them again because I really want to rewatch it. I loved everything about that one. Peacemaker is a freaking gem. And that goes for anyone with the recommendations. Like, throw them out there. I try to see what I can. It's hard with the channel, with work, I have other things going on as well, trying to build stuff like a website and all this other stuff. But keep them coming because when I have time, I love to watch these unknown things to me and just kind of, you got to keep it going. That's how we keep it interesting. We got to show people what they're missing out on or things that they might like. It's about a genetically engineered human shark hybrid from the writers of Jaws. That sounds fun. That sounds cool. Let's see. I don't want to leave, y'all, but I gotta go soon. Okay, so there's a new article on Screen Rant talking about Superman's box office. It's kind of what we talked about before. It's looking like Superman's going to make between 115 and 121 million. And even if it's on the lower end of that, it says that it's the third best domestic debut of 2025 so far, sitting only behind Lilo and Stitch, which is at 146, and a Minecraft movie at 162. That's pretty good. I was thinking about this. Superman doesn't even need to make over $1 billion. Like, we talk about that all the time of the billion mark. It just needs to do good and get people hyped and get people believing that these movies might be good. And if you've seen the movie, hopefully it did that for you. I don't want to go. I'd love to see a review of oldie comedies with those kind of coming back. Yeah, the comedies are coming back. I had a conversation with my friend about that. Kind of branching off with like Naked Gun, which kind of a different type of comedy as far as old school comedies, but like Naked Gun's coming back, and I hope it's raunchy. I hope it's a hard R and nothing is off the table. And I hope that when Scary Movie 6 comes out, it does the same thing. We need this. We need this so bad. I miss those movies. Just make fun of everyone and everything. Like, just I don't know. I miss those. I really do. Gunn says he wants a Jimmy Olsen series and maybe a Mr. Terrific series. I don't know what petition to sign to get those made, but let's do it. Let's do it. Those characters were great. And you'll see where they rank in my top 10 video tomorrow. What's your honest opinion on bringing the Batman into the DCU? I personally think it's a high-risk, high-reward situation. Warner Brothers will be leading more towards a smart business decision with one. Mokara, hello, first of all. Needs to happen. But I think kind of going back to what I was talking about before with the unconventional way of how do we go from point A being Superman to point B being the Justice League? I want to see him do it in a very creative way of not just movie, we're here. Like, I don't know what that contains, but that's how it needs to be. Then as far as Batman goes, it absolutely needs to happen, and I want it to happen. At first, there's the talks of Pattinson. Is Pattinson coming over from Matt Reeves' universe over to this? After seeing Superman, absolutely not. Zero chance. I don't want that in the least. They are so different type of movies and universes and everything like that. So I want them to make Batman a DCU specific Batman. They are, and I want them to, but there needs to be tonal cues, visual cues that are very, very, very different from Pattinson's. Like my whole thing was, why not bring back the gray and blue like Batman? We kind of saw a glimpse of that in the Flash with Ben Affleck, whatever suit that was. That looked weird. But that color scheme, like I'm all for it. I think we need it. I don't know when, but we need it. Who to cast as Batman? The $1 million question, y'all. For the love of God, not Ben Affleck. I liked Ben Affleck as Batman. He was my favorite Batman. Just how brutal he was. I think I like that really a lot about him. Who to cast as Batman real quick? What's his name? It's like the fan favorite. I have two of them. Just so I can. So Brendan Skellnar, the guy from Drop, the guy from the show. You all know who I'm talking about, right? Brandon Sklenar. I can't say his name right. That's gonna be a problem if he gets cast, and I need to learn how to say his name. The more that I see of him, and once again, I've not seen a movie that he's in. The more I see him, the more I start to see Batman in him. So I would not be mad at that. The other one that it's not gonna happen. Straight up, it's not gonna happen. But Jensen Ackles. I think that'd be really cool, Batman. Not gonna happen because of his age. So probably Brendan. But who else do you all want to see as Batman? Mr. Terrific helps Batman a lot. So what if this is the way? And this is what even though it's probably gonna be Batman's movie is how he's introduced. What if he's in something else? Right? Like what if they do a Mr. Terrific series or movie or whatever, and then Batman shows up? I was thinking that's how it was going to be with Clayface next year, but I doubt it. I want to see hints. What I want to see, I had an idea for this. Let me know if it's a good idea or bad idea or not, whatever. Going forward in the DCU projects, whatever, we need to see little glimpses of Batman. Like in Creature Commandos, how you see the silhouette with the thunder hitting behind, but you can't see any details of him. Like I want to know that Batman is in the shadows, kind of in this world, but just kind of doing detective work on what's going on all these metahumans, on all these villains, and then eventually show them up. But imagine that tease and that build up. Imagine that. Oh, that'd be so cool. That's what I want to see happen. Don't know when it'll happen, but that's what I want to see. The Shockley Burton Batmans. For the Shockley, you're talking about the Tim Burton, right? Yeah, the Shockley. I'm sorry, I'm getting tired. Yeah, the Burton films. That's what I grew up with. Very campy, but at the same time, still very gothic and dark. Those are fun. I like those ones. Rupert Friend. Who's Rupert Friend? Oh, he was in Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. Give me a second. Looking at images. I don't know about him as Batman. The thing is whoever they cast, even if it's him, like you gotta trust the process. One of the things that I like rave about Superman, the new one, is the chemistry between Lois Lane and Clark Kent. It's unreal. So they know how to pick who, and all the stars in this, they match what they're doing really well. So they know what they're doing with the casting. Danny DeVito play Batman? Sign me up. Danny DeVito should play everything. I would watch all that. Let's see. Sad that Ben Affleck wasn't Daredevil in Deadpool 3. That joke, Johnny, that joke in Deadpool where they're like, what'd they say? What happened to Daredevil or whatever? And they're like, and then she's like, he died. Like, because of the real life situation with those two. I thought that was hilarious. Mokara, the Green Lantern is supposed to be dark, greedy, and true detective, so it wouldn't make sense to introduce him in there. The new show seems to be going that way, very much true detective, and I hope that they just go into very uncomfortable territory with this, because we're gonna have now we have Superman, this super bright, colorful, happy movie. We need those parallels. We need it all over the place. But once again, what's the one thing that can connect these worlds tonally? They're all gonna be different tones and different looking different ways, but they got to find that way to mesh it all together, even just a little bit. Clark, what's going on? Guy Gardner isn't supposed to be dark. He is in Lanterns. He said he's in Lanterns, but to what degree? I don't know. Maybe he's only in it for an episode or two. So even if that show is dark, maybe he only shows up for a little bit. My main negative on Batman v Superman was Pod dies under the overpass. That is the worst place to hide from a tornado. I'm once again Superman week, right? So I'm going over and I'm listening to podcasts, I'm watching movies, I'm just extremely excited, super hyped for it. And everyone is dogging the Escape Pod podcast. I don't know if you all watched them. They were dogging Man of Steel. That's like their thing. And they just kept going over the Pa Kent death scene in Man of Steel and how bad it was executed. And yeah, like being removed from it after so long, looking back on it, yes, it was not. No, my superpowered son, don't save my life. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Samantha, we're just talking Superman and body horror and Danny DeVito and aliens. We're talking about it all. Yeah, Spawn. I mean, Give Me Liberty. Spawn is. What are they doing with Spawn? Like, they announced, Todd McFarlane came out and said, no, they're making new Spawn. Jamie Foxx was cast like a decade ago. And then last year, Todd McFarlane updated us all with the script called King Spawn. And then it went silent. And I think Blumhouse has the rights to it, to distribute it, or to make it, or whatever it is. I want to see that. They're seriously just dangling that franchise in front of us for years, and it's pissing me off now. I just don't want them to make everything Superman. Samantha, do you mean just, I don't know, just every project kind of going forward over Superman? Sounds like they're going to distribute things very carefully where he might show up in other projects, but I'm assuming we're about 5-6 years away from a sequel. But hopefully we still get a sequel. I heard that rumor too, Slipknot fan, that he wants to do it all himself. And if it's and you gotta think about this. If it's taking this long, if that's the case, and it's taking this long, it's not gonna be made. No one wants to back him up if no one has yet. That's what I think. But he wrote the freaking thing. Like, put your pride aside and give us the script that you're proud of. Maybe he can like negotiate helping choose a director. Maybe having final say on who gets to make it. I don't know. Give Me Liberty, please do it. Let's get this petition started. Yes, but better than Marvel. I want Marvel and DC just to do good. Like, I want to go into Fantastic Four and be blown away. I want every project from both of them to just be top tier quality. We all win. Paul let himself die because he didn't want to be a hypocrite who asked his son, oh yeah, for the kids in the bus to hide his identity. You know what? But to be fair, the kids in the busting, that was what, 10 years in the past as far as that movie goes. I would have been like, save me. Times have changed, Clark, sorry. The Martha thing, I don't know what it is. The Martha thing didn't bug me. It just shows like the way that I took the Martha thing in Batman v Superman is that it showed that he is human. Like, there are human elements to him and that he is a person. That's what I got from it. They probably could have gone a better way about it, but that's how I interpreted it. So it never really bugged me. You invest your entire checking account, 25. Let's get this thing started. Samantha, the Smurfs movie, I have no interest in that. for a few reasons. I've never really watched the Smurfs. I think I saw them a little bit when I was growing up, but it was never my thing. I also think that there is way too much going on as far as like surrounding that movie for me to gain any interest in it. Like I was talking about earlier, I'm gonna go see I Know What You Did Last Summer this weekend, or this coming weekend, over the Smurfs. Like they're just, I don't know. I think that it's cool. I think it's gonna be a really cool thing to take, kids to, or if you grew up with the Smurfs, maybe there's something there for you. But yeah, just not really there. Hiding an overpass is like being in an air vent during the air conditioning kicks on. For real, because yeah, I've always heard that you have to hide under those things during a hurricane. So Smurfs are nasty little creatures. Hey Samantha, go check it out. It doesn't matter if I don't like it, if anyone else doesn't like it, even if someone goes and sees the movie and they hate it. Like as long as you like it, as long as you like whatever, like go see it. Like there's plenty of movies that I don't like that I back up because I like them, that I know damn well are not well-made movies, but it is what it is. Let's see. Clark, in Batman v Superman, he should have said, "Save my mother, Martha." I thought he says save Martha, doesn't he? Oh, he says he's gonna kill Martha. You might be right. I thought he said something alluding to. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why we keep getting shark movies. Thank you for your advice. Sharks aren't going anywhere. They're creepy. So are the alligators, like we talked about earlier. They just make for very good suspense, if done right. They can be goofy too. Strap some laser beams on the top of their head and give us that. That'd be sweet. Let's see. Who introduces their mother in first name? He would have said, yeah, that's true. Like just breaking it down, if you are about to die, I think you want to I think you kind of go back to like, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, yeah, save my mom. Save my mom, don't save her first name. That's a good point. I feel like that is more authentic and more realistic. I need to see Brightburn. I remember it came out, I really wanted to see it and never saw it. It was on Netflix or whatever streaming service and I was gonna throw it on, never did, and now I can't find it again. So next chance I get, I do want to see that. On YouTube, Jeremy Renner signed DC, and I agree. I hope he did. I mean, Disney or Marvel, I'm assuming it's Disney, but I don't know. They did him dirty by offering him half his salary from the first Hawkeye series to return in season 2. He said no, and I'm glad he did. Also, and I'll mention this all leading up to Doomsday, if they don't get him in Doomsday, if he's not back as Hawkeye, you can guarantee a huge L for our heroes. Doomsday wins by a landslide. Every time Hawkeye is in an MCU movie, whatever side he's on, they win. So, kind of like a twisted Superman. Yeah, no, I remember the thing, and he's a kid the whole time, I believe, just based off the trailer from what I remember. Bandit Walker Badass, are you talking about Superman? The new one with all the different characters and stuff like that? Yeah, the Martha thing is so divisive. It's crazy. 10 years later. How many Marthas are there in the world? Apparently only 2. Yeah. Jeremy Renner is a very, very likable guy. If he's willing to jump on to the DCU and like another franchise, let him. I know he has that show on Paramount. I don't know the name of it. I don't have Paramount Plus, but I know he's doing something over there. So I don't know if he wants to get tied up again in like a long-term thing, but I'd take him. Definitely would love to take him. My mother, Martha, exactly. So, Bandit, I was talking earlier of how so much is going on and it is a shorter superhero movie. It's like at 2 hours. It's a good and bad thing in my head of it doesn't give us enough backstory or character arcs for the other side characters, but it makes us want to know more about them. So as long as they deliver on that going forward, I'm cool with it. There is a lot going on though, and I think that's going to deter some people. Give me liberty. I'm getting stoned. Do your thing. Do your thing. Yeah, killing Superman in Batman v Superman was wild. Yeah, Jonathan Kent in Man of Steel, it was. Okay, I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt here. Was he a really bad father, or was it more of a really, not twisted, but was it like realistic? Was it a realistic take? Do you think that people, to save, because you have to understand the intention was to keep Clark safe. Was what he was saying just rooted in that? Was this a realistic response? Maybe it wasn't. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Do y'all like Man of Steel? Aside from the Jonathan Kent stuff? I like Man of Steel a lot. Let's see. All right, y'all, I'm gonna get off at 11. I'm gonna set the timer. I'm gonna set the timer. I'm getting off at 11. Gotta get my stuff ready. But keep Clark safe. Then a few months or years later, he becomes public, the opposite his dad wanted. Yeah. Like, it's a difficult situation to have an alien son that you want to keep safe. But at that point, during that scene where he tells him not to save him, he was in high school, I think. Didn't look like any high schooler I ever went to school with, though. He looked a lot older. Man of Steel is visual poetry. Yes, it is. I was thinking, because I keep comparing the new Superman to Man of Steel, and I think the two things that Man of Steel does better, and this isn't a spoiler for anyone that's watching, is I like the music, the score by Hans Zimmer in Man of Steel more. It just felt epic. It felt like it matched what was going on. It matched the action, which is the other thing, so well in Man of Steel. The score and the action were next level in Man of Steel. Let's see. Give me liberty. Would you keep and shelter an alien space baby that landed in your backyard? Probably not, if we're being honest. But then again, I'm not in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, probably not. And then another thing is if that happened, you have to feel like the government would be on your ass before you get the kid inside your house. That's another thing to consider as well. High school him shouldn't have been. Yeah, why not recast him for that scene? That's true. It's not like it was gonna be, because they recast him as a kid. Yeah, he was recast as a child, and then he was recast as like a preteen when he saved the kids in the school bus, and then he was just Henry Cavill in high school. So I don't know. It would have made more sense to recast him. Mike, I'm glad you like the new Superman movie. Go tell your friends, go tell everyone, go see it. Have DC start off on a high note, which it looks like it is, because we talked about the box office. And we do need new DC characters. And Samantha, the new Superman movie does introduce characters that most people won't know. There's the Justice Gang with a Green Lantern you probably never heard of, and then other characters in there as well. Also, the villains in the new Superman that you probably never heard of. So there's that. Yeah, exactly, Johnny. So that's not, I never thought about that before until this conversation of, is that really realistic that they got Clark and they just were able to raise him with no one, stepping in, at least checking in on them, kind of knowing that something else was going on, and I don't know. Does that ruin the origin of Superman coming to Earth now? Did we just crack something? Jaden, of course I remember you. How you doing? but they weren't aware of Chinese balloons. Jaden, we're just talking about the new Superman movie. I'm wrapping up here in about 5 minutes, so but I'm glad to see you. Glad to have you back on here. Samantha, whenever you see Jurassic World, make sure whenever you come back on after you've seen it, let me know what you think about it. It seems more on the negative side, and that's where I'm definitely headed with this one. The more I'm removed from it and the more I have time to think about it. But also, I know a lot of people are going to like it, and I hope that you like it. I hope that if you go see it, that you really enjoy it. Clark, Man of Steel has better cinematics, but way darker visually. It just didn't have the colors. It didn't have the colors. And after seeing the new Superman, you really like I noticed that it didn't have colors. I noticed that when I was watching Man of Steel as many times as I've watched it, but really thinking about it after seeing Superman, massive difference. Massive difference. But I think it worked with what they were going for with that. Is that baseball helmet behind you? Sorry. No, that's an Philadelphia Eagles helmet. Big fan. It's a signed helmet, by the way, too. The Superman, I liked the. So in Superman, in Man of Steel, I really liked how violent it was. Like, that's the word I like to use when thinking about how he was flying through the air. And I think they matched that better in this. Well, there's a scene in the movie where he needs to get somewhere. He needs to get somewhere from A to B like yesterday. And in that scene, it's a close-up of him flying, and it really kind of imitates like, because we see him flying before that in Superman, and it's a lot more fluid, it's a lot more smooth. And then when this scene happens, like the violent like shaking of the camera with the wind hitting him, like you really got the urgency. So I think that was a really cool thing to see, where I never knew or thought that the way that they portray the flying really ups the stakes. And I really like that in the new Superman one. Do I have any pets? I do not have any pets. Me and my wife want to get a dog. She's really allergic, so we're trying to figure that out. We've talked about getting, certain types of dogs, but we also travel a lot. So that's another thing we're trying to consider for the pup. Let's play Complete the Lyrics. Girl, I want your love. Complete the lyrics. I can't do that right now, Gene. Not on the spot. But if anyone else can do that, let's do it. Okay, Give Me Liberty. There is 2 end credit scenes to Superman. I was just praising this earlier in the live stream, where what would have been an end credit scene, like in the MCU and the past DC thing, it's at the end of the movie. So you're still watching the movie where you get the big, like, that was cool. Like, you get that at the end of the movie. There's a mid-credit scene, which is a nice little bow on the movie itself. It's very quick. It's like a 5-second, 6-second thing. Then there's something at the very end of the credits where if you really were enjoying the movie and you're enjoying the characters in the movie and you have the time, stay for it. It's just a little something extra for you. Not needed, though. I want a snake. Snakes scare me so bad. When I was on my bachelor party in Louisiana on Bourbon Street, someone was walking around with a snake, and I said, you know what? It's my bachelor party. Let's do it. My buddy got the snake, and this giant like python yellow thing. I'll try to find a picture and bring it next time to the live stream. But yeah, snakes freak me out. Not a fan. But if you like them, cool. I don't know the lyrics. Let's see. Funny Both Superman and Fantastic Four both have a baby. And both become overpowered, and at least in the comics. We'll see if they bring... So, in my review, if you haven't seen my review of Superman, I really praise that, like, hey, these are the characters that we get going forward for like 10, 15, maybe 20 years. Where do you go after that? Do you just reboot the whole thing again? I feel like you kind of have to, but would you rather see Superman's son, or would you rather see Superboy kind of take over? Like maybe introduce Superboy later on in the Teen Titans, and I don't know how you go about that. I don't know how you replace the characters. That's something that Marvel's struggling with after you get rid of Iron Man and stuff. Like, who takes up the mantle? Samantha, I'm all over the Stranger Things. Cannot wait to see that. Yeah, Chris, right there with you, man. Cannot wait to see I say that so much in my review, in my character ranking of I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see. Bring on everything they can. I need it all. I need it all right now. Stranger Things is gonna be sick. Stranger Things is gonna be incredible. Not ready to see how it all ends because I'm very worried about certain characters. Yeah. Chris, I have both. I have the video up now, and then I have a video coming out tomorrow. So all Superman all week, baby. The villain in the new Superman is fine. I heard Eddie is coming back. Samantha, you're talking about Nicholas Hoult, right? Lex Luthor? I hope Eddie doesn't come back. Eddie's in season 4, right? I don't know about that. The new Superman movie is great. Mike, thank you. Let everybody know. I want multiple deaths in Stranger Things. Yeah. Okay, so I just said I was worried about it. I need to, as long as it makes sense, as long as the characters go and it makes sense, I'm ready. I mean, the other seasons were emotional too. So this isn't something new that they're just springing on us. Of course, Stranger Things is going to be sad. That's true. One thing I didn't get, how is Superman able to breathe in Moon with Krypto if they earlier tried to suffocate him? I'll have to rewatch it. I'm going to go Tuesday, I think, to go rewatch it, but I'll keep a lookout for that. That's a good point. Samantha, Nicholas Holt's the man. Nicholas Hoult is the man. I want to know what you think about him if you ever go see Superman, because I think that was his best performance that I've seen. And I've seen a decent amount of his movies. Let me know what you think about him. New Justice League trailer? What are you talking about? They barely even worked up to Peacemaker now. Give me liberty. The Mist was a perfect ending. That's a good ending as far as grim and bleak endings for sure. Speak No Evil, the original, like the actual first one, that's a bleak ending. Good God. If Lex Luthor had a clone of Superman, why didn't he just frame him? Lex Luthor has historically just been petty, right? And no one is more petty than we see him in this movie. So I think he's just doing everything he possibly can, and he always will, regardless if he has a clone of Superman, if he has people that he hires, like, it doesn't matter. All right, y'all, I really got to go this time. So yeah, Hawkgirl is cool. I'll be talking about her in my video tomorrow. So I'm gonna head out, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I'll be here next week, same time, same place. If you haven't seen my review of Superman, go check it out. I have my top 10 characters from the movie that comes out tomorrow morning. Keep a lookout for that. Yeah, hope everyone has a great day. Hawkgirl murdered someone. Samantha, thank you, and I will see you all next week. Have a great day, have a great week, and go see a cool movie. Bring on the recommendations for everybody, all right? See ya.